I've been asked this question: how do you and your wife organize your days in order to work effectively in a different country, right? Which is a pretty good question. So I thought I'd answer that. I've got my cup of coffee and everything is kind of laid out in a calendar format. Because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm working on my own business, and my wife is also working on her business. So none of us are employees and none of us have set times. So we have to be extremely flexible. We have to be fair as well, for each of our goals and how we manage our time in business and at home and with kids as family. So things can get pretty difficult for people and a bit overwhelming, but we've simplified it to this weekly calendar. So we kind of printed this out. Okay. So basically it all started when I was kind of doing the 9 to 5 work every day, Monday to Friday. Basically my wife was overwhelmed. She was with the kids a lot and she also wanted to kind of focus on her own thing, and the main thing about being a family and being in a relationship is communication, right? And dealing with it. So it's just like, well, okay. So if you're feeling this way, you're feeling overwhelmed, how can I help? How can we reposition and change things to make it work for you? So by having this conversation with your wife or your partner, you can then kind of discuss on how you can transition your day-to-days to be more effective for you both and for you both to be more happier. The happier each of you are, the more that reflects onto your kids, the more that reflects on both of you, and the more you feel loved together as well. So I always stand by a phrase called happy wife, happy life. And I'm always out there to try and make sure that she's a happy woman, because if she's a happy woman, she makes me happy. Okay? Yeah, she's smiling at me. So we had this issue, right? And at the time I was doing, quite a lot of plumbing. And obviously plumbing means that I need to kind of be out of the house, right? There's no way around it. I need to go to a person's house. I need to do the job. Sometimes I'm not home at a specific time. But I decided that we were going to break it up like this, because we also have kids that need driving to Zadar every day, 2 kids, and they have either school or nursery. For the youngest, she has nursery between 8 and 12. So that means we have to stay in Zadar between 8 and 12. Otherwise, there's no point going back and forward like 3 times a day, So what we do is Monday and Tuesday, I will go and take the kids to school and nursery. I will stay there till 12. In the meanwhile, during the 8 to 12 period that my youngest is in nursery, I will be doing sort of laptop work, content creation work, anything that doesn't require me going on the tools on a job, or I'll be doing some exercise as well. Once I pick her up, I usually either drive home or I kind of stay in Zadar. I usually drive around until she kind of falls asleep. And then I'll be sort of like home. I'll put my phone in the car so that I can hear her at all times if she wakes up. So then I can just go to the car and, pick her up and everything. But usually she'll sleep about, 2 hours in the car, right? Between 2 and 3 hours, which is great because then I have a little bit more time to work on, the laptop or the content creation. That brings me up until sort of 3:20ish when I have to drive to Zadar again to pick up my eldest daughter. And then I sort of take her home, and then that's when my real work hours start. So from like 4:30 till the end of the day, that's me, working solidly. So meanwhile, while I'm doing that, my wife is at home and she is working from 8 till 4 solidly on whatever she's doing. Okay. So she's sort of doing this doTERRA marketing business, where she has to lead a team and market the products as well and help people with essential oils, helping them holistically and with all their health matters. So she's doing that from 8 till 4. And then from 4 till sleep time, she is then with the kids and she puts them to sleep as well. So, and cook dinner and that kind of stuff as well. that's me Monday and Tuesday, and that's her Monday and Tuesday, right? And then we flip the script. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm working then in the morning from 8 till 4, and she's doing the whole children's run stuff. When she finishes the children's run stuff and brings our daughters home, then from 4 till 10, I'm playing with them. I'm helping with the food. I'm putting them to sleep. And yeah, that's how we kind of run things. On the Saturday, we then flip it again so that she has a full day's work. Now, obviously, sometimes weekends we have some things planned, and you never really know how every day is going to go. But as long as you've got some kind of way to structure things, then at least you can stick with a plan and use your time valuably and productively. I honestly don't know now how people with a job do it, because I mean, on a weekly basis, we're going to have like doctor runs, dentist runs, random shopping things we need, or random appointments. There's always something going on. And that means that I'm always happy that I'm not like working a 9 to 5 where you can't take time out, you know? So it's really good that I have this time to just kind of go and do what I need to do. On Sunday is a full family day, which we all spend together. And yeah, no matter what, we're not really working. We're just spending time with the kids together, going somewhere, adventuring. If the weather's bad, just staying at home and chilling. But it's great to have that kind of bonding time together as a family. What's great is when you actually make this structure, when you know exactly like where you're going to be at what time each day. That's when you start incorporating other habits and stuff into your day. So I want to add in fitness. So where would I add in fitness? I would add in fitness when I'm in Sadar. So, you know, meanwhile, when my kid is in nursery, the best time would be to go to the gym in Zadar then, because I don't waste any time, because I have to drive to Zadar anyway. So it's time efficient. Now, if I did it in the evening, it would be very time consuming, because I would then drive home. I would drop my kids off. I would then have to do another run to Zadar, which is half an hour there. I would do the workout, which is about an hour long. And then I'd drive back, which would be another half an hour. So that whole time just to go to the gym would be at least 2 hours. Whereas if I can cut that travel time out, then I save an hour. You see what I mean? So everything is about trying to be as efficient as possible when you're a family man or family woman, you know? You've got to do things that make sense. You can't just travel somewhere for the sake of it. If you can do it while you're doing something else, then that's the best thing. And that's the same thing with shopping or something. You know, why spend, you know, an extra day somewhere just to travel to, say, Zadar again to do all your shopping when you can do it whilst you're there? By understanding your week ahead, you can then slot in these times so that it makes sense in what you're doing, and so that you know exactly what you're going to do during that time slot that you've got. So the app I use for this, or the thing I use for this, is called Google Calendar. And basically you can just add time blocks in for your day. I color code them as well. So I've just fetched my calendar. This is the, you know, a week in advance, just so you can kind of see. But the different colors are different things. And if I go back, go back. You can kind of see, oh, these are the future thing. If I go back, you'll see how I book my day, you know, every half an hour pretty much has something. So the way I do that is, you know, colors. If it's pink, it's family. If it's blue, it's work. If it's orange, it's something to do with the house. If it's yellow, it's fitness. And grey is self. But you can color code things the way you want to. But I feel with this time blocking method, it's the most efficient way to run as a family. And then one of the most important things as well is communication. The most important thing in a relationship is communication, and communicating with your partner, seeing how they feel on a monthly, weekly basis, and just, you know, chopping and changing things, making sure that you guys run as sufficient and as happy kind of medium as possible. Seeing if one of you doesn't feel too well with something, then, you know, listening to your partner. You may not have a solution straight away, but by listening to them and taking it away and thinking, you know, how can I improve this? Or speaking to them and saying, you know, how could we then improve what we're doing? in order to operate better as a family and happier as a family. Oh, we can do this. For instance, here's one example. So every night, my wife used to spend about half an hour vacuuming the floor every night. And, sometimes it'd be multiple times during the day. And, it's a lot of time to spend, and if I end up vacuuming the floor, it's never good enough, right? So she has to do it. So I thought, why not invest in a robot vacuum cleaner? So invested in, spent quite a bit of money on a good robot vacuum cleaner, but every night it hoovers and it mops the floor as well. So it mops it as well. And the floor is like pristine every single morning. I just think that's half an hour saved every single night, at least. So that's saving, around 3.5 hours a week that you could use on something else. Plus the time if you're doing it double, if you're doing that 2 times a day or whatever, then you're saving it, right? But this robot has, low maintenance on it. All you have to do is fill up its water, check its vacuum bag every now and again. But it goes round, it cleans everything meticulously, and it's really clean and great. So that was a fantastic investment. We've set up on a schedule, so we go to bed, and then it just works at like 11:30 at night and cleans the whole house and vacuums and mops it all. And then when we come down, it's all pristine. So that's a way where we found a problem. The problem is I hate vacuuming the floor every night or multiple times a day. It's never keeping clean. It's making me unhappy. I'm spending half an hour a day doing this. Okay, let's invest in this, because maybe it costs a lot of money, but over the long period of time, it's going to save us so much money. Let's look at it in this example. If you're getting paid, let's say 20 euros an hour, and you're saving, 3.5 hours, that's like 70-ish euros. That's 70 euros a week you're saving because you could use the hours for work and make that money. So it's about thinking about things smart and what's a good investment and what's a bad investment. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video about family productivity, and I will catch you guys on the next video.